everybody listening far and wide, all ears, friends, country, and Romans and countrymen, lend me your ears. Members of ATLAH, everybody, lend me your ears. I want to say to you, there's an extraordinary event that's happening here in the ATLAH World Missionary Church. And that extraordinary event, Mr. Engineer, you'll bring those people back up again. That extraordinary event that's happening here at the ATLAH World Missionary Church. Sabbath, Rachel Lafleur, who you know as the co-host here of the Manning Report, and also now has her own venue of the current events class that she does on a weekly basis with the students and now with some of the parents of the ATLAH system, has received her graduate degree from Lehman College right here in New York City. Now, I have to tell you that she started many years ago working on her degree. And she had worked all the way up through the junior year at Lehman College. And she got married. And when she got married, her husband, Adam Jacob Lafleur, y'all know him too, she got pregnant. And when she got pregnant, she had to drop out of school to be the loving and dear mother that she is to take care of her child. Now, the child that was born is the one seated beside her right now. But now, 17 years after she's nurtured this child and 4 others, she went back to school, and this year she's graduating from Lehman College with her bachelor's degree that she would have got 17 years ago. But as a mother, and a loving mother, she stayed home to take care of her children. But now here, I want to show you a blessing right here. I want to show you a blessing. Now just hold on. This daughter that she was pregnant with, that caused her to drop out of college and not get her degree, who's now just entered, or just accepted at New York University here in New York City. She's only 17 years old. She's been accepted by New York University into its architectural program. So the fruit of this woman of God, this Sabbath Rachel Lafleur, her fruit, the fact that she didn't get her degree, her daughter, now 17 years old only, is going into New York University. Isn't that a blessing? This is a double celebration. So I figured I'd have both of them on here today. So Sabbath, what do you got to say about all that? And I'll ask Anna what she got to say.
I'm just thankful to God. I truly am thankful to God. I know, I sent you a note stating how grateful and thankful we are as a family for what God is doing. But I know that it's a result of us being in the ministry that all of this is taking place. So again, thank you.
But don't you see, don't you think this is, you dropped out of school to have this young girl. And see how God has rewarded you. What a near genius that's been accepted at New York. Did you ever think, when you were running around up there in the Bronx years ago, that you would produce a child that would be accepted at New York? You ever think about that? Huh?
No, I had no idea. At the time, because of what we went through with trying to have children, when I got pregnant, I was so excited and so happy to have a child that, I said, okay, let me give this child the best of myself. And for me to try to go to school and do that at the same time, for me, was going to be a bit much. I know that other women have done it, but I made the decision to drop out. I didn't think at the time, I wasn't thinking about the future, what this child was going to be and so forth. At that time, I was just thinking about, that present time.
Anna, I think this is my first time talking to you since your acceptance at New York University. What does that feel like to be going to such a prestigious school? And again, you're only 17. I was talking to your father. I don't know if you're old enough to go. What does that feel like in your heart to get that letter?
Well, I was excited because now I'll be going to a college that actually has architecture as a major, because Fordham didn't. So now I'm getting closer to being on the right track.
Now you're going to study architecture, is that right? Susan Christian over over down there in Brighton asked me after she got the news of the tweet, why are you studying architecture? What is that? Because at one point I thought you were looking at medicine and probably some other subjects. How did you get into the business of architecture?
Well, I like I like to draw and I like to design. So I thought I would put those abilities to use by designing buildings and other things. Like
I'm going to ask you a question for a moment about, your mother made a great sacrifice for you. And we hadn't really thought about it in that regard. And your mother would never mention it, and your father either. But she made a great sacrifice. She sacrificed her education from getting a degree several years ago so she could take care of you, raise you, put diapers on you, and run you around. And you have greatly fulfilled that sacrifice. It's just a real blessing. Are you comprehending what's going on in your life and in the life of your mother, and potentially what you can accomplish? Are you jiggying with that?
yeah.
Well, I think it's incredible. I mean, when I couldn't think of anything else that God could do in terms of some extraordinary things that He's done in this ministry. And then when I heard Sabbath, she said the report that she is getting her bachelor's degree. And I looked and I said, well, my God, the Lord surely does work in mysterious ways. I mean, the two of you, this should never, and I want every parent who makes a sacrifice on behalf of their children and everybody else associated with this ministry to see what the Lord can do with a mother, a father, and then a daughter. And Anna, you've not dropped the baton. You have, you've carried this in a very powerful way. And I know you're going down there to New York University to shake things up down there, if you ever get a chance to actually get into the classroom down there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you, what kind of buildings? Because we've assigned you to do the virtual school buildings for the ATLAH School. What kind of buildings are you planning on designing? And I think that we still have the arc of the Middle Passage. You know that, right?
hmm
So are you looking at designing those kinds of things when the Lord turns this community over to us?
Yeah.
Tell me a little something about, because you showed me your architectural drawings, right? That you use for admission applications, I think, to schools. And you really are quite talented in that regard. So tell me a little bit about, that, why you were inspired to draw and what kind of buildings you think you're going to be designing in the years to come.
Well, I don't know why I'm inspired to draw. I just like to do it. It soothes me. But I'm looking into because I'm looking into modern architecture and like Gothic architecture because the campus on Fordham University is Gothic architecture.
Right, it is, yeah.
And I like the way the pointed arches. So, and the church is a little similar to that. So it interests me.
You discover the architects that designed this building. They were two of the most famous architects in New York City that designed this building. Look that up when you get an opportunity to do that. Sabbath, let me go back to you. Okay, so now you got a degree, all right? You've taught in the school. You've worked on the Manning Report. You are a reporter, a journalist. Where do you see your future? Because you got some other children coming up. Where do you see your relationship with the Lord? I think I heard you say at one point in time, you're the only person in church that didn't have a title. Everybody had some sort of ministry title, and you still don't, except for co-host of the Manning Report.
Right.
How do you?
Well, go ahead.
No, you go, because we only got a moment or so left. I don't need to hear y'all talk.
Okay, well, I see myself, I think that business is in my blood. With everything else that I'm doing, business is still a big part of who I am. And so I see myself in the future doing something in business. And so that's really what I'm going to pursue, especially because it's needed with the vision that God has given us of ATLAH to be owners of businesses and so forth. I definitely see myself going into owning some type of business. We manage ATLAH Superior. We're still going to do ATLAH Superior right now. It's been tabled, but that is still very much in the works. And so I'm looking forward to a future of business.
Let me drop this on you, and we're going to get you back because I didn't have enough time for you today, with the two of y'all to talk. But you know, restaurants are struggling greatly through this coronavirus shutdown, furlough, social distancing. And under such auspices, many of them may not be able to reopen. And even if they do, they may not be able to survive with the way things are going to be organized, because this virus is not going to go away. And you're a restaurant tour, you're a restaurant entrepreneur. And I would like to say to you to think about and pray about looking at a chain service of food. Because once these restaurants, they're going to fold, Sabbath. They're going to go out of business. But there needs to be a source to fill that vacuum. And I said earlier today, if I can just get the Negro people to hear me, we can be a self-sustaining group of people to do what we need to do. So I pray that you'll think about it, because business is in your blood and you're very talented at it. A fella came by, Sam, the roofing guy, came by the other day and asked me, where's the restaurant? He wanted to eat some food from ATLAH. Listen, Anna and I'm so proud of y'all. You are a shining example. Your family is a heroic and shining star in this ministry. And I don't know how I could be more proud of your accomplishments. And I would tell anybody looking, I wanted to tell people who are thinking about returning to the church, to look at what God does to people who stay. I only have time, but just to put the two of you up to date, to get together today is good enough. I got to get out of here. God bless you. Thank you. I'm gonna get y'all back, because I didn't get enough out y'all. I'm gonna get y'all back. All right, everybody. Peace out. Peace out, Sabbath. Say peace out.
Peace.
Peace out. This is a bit of a news blog we do, looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting, rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon, Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I'm the Lord's servant, James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information.